Good afternoon. Welcome to Highlights of New York State's Computer Science and Digital Fluency Learning Standards, or Don't Get Caught with Your Firewalls Down. This is going to be narrated by a couple of old friends of mine, Goofus and Gallant, with myself, Corky Long, with apologies to Gary Cleveland Myers. First, some background. As we all are aware, cybercrime is a huge threat and it's growing. Between 2020 and 2021, corporate cyber attacks increased by 50%, according to Checkpoint Software Technologies. According to Positive Technologies pen testing analysis, cyber criminals can penetrate 93% of company networks. The Allianz Risk Barometer, which is a survey of business leaders by the corporation Allianz, it ranks cyber incidents as the most significant threat to businesses. The number one threat for 34% of all the respondents to this survey. Finally, the cost of cybersecurity, the cost of cybercrime is absolutely staggering. It is predicted to grow from 2022 to 2027, 300% to a total of just under $24 trillion. And now from a word from our pals Goofus and Gallant. Goofus thinks cybercrime is fun. I sent a denial of service attack to the middle school and shut down the computers on the first day of school. Gallant, on the other hand, wants to join the FBI. I'm going to be a cybersecurity consultant and prevent bad actors like Kim Jong-il from taking over the world. Fortunately, precautions taken by organizations and individuals can make it tough on cyber criminals. Organizations such as the New York State Education Department have published cybersecurity standards which outline best practices for cybersecurity. This presentation is really going to outline several of the recommendations posed by New York State as necessary precautions for modeling cyber security prevention, which should be really adopted by all consumers of technology. So one thing that most organizations really need to do is to run a cost-benefit analysis in assessing the impact of cybercrime. The bottom line is that cybersecurity precautions are not free, and resources are not unlimited. Things like antivirus software, encryption, education, other methods of preventing cybercrime do have a cost. So, and effective prevention of cybercrime, it does require commitment, education, investment by organizational leaders. Any policy, any security policy, which is either poorly articulated or has a significant impact on productivity will be ignored. It won't be effective. So what really needs to happen is organizations need to take a very sober look at what are the potential costs of cybercrime. All technology has benefits as well as risks, and what are the specific risks in using certain types of applications? And do they outweigh the benefits? What actions can be taken to minimize the risks? Resources are limited. They need to be focused on those issues which pose the greatest risk. You can't do everything. And so organizations really need to prioritize and understand what the costs are associated with cybersecurity. When evaluating those costs, they don't need to only look at what is the cost of software, of training, of education, of other means of prevention, but they also need to look at the potential costs of a data breach or a ransomware attack. Those are the costs that really are what needs to be considered when making plans for cybersecurity policy. Shortly, most organizations are voting with their dollars. They're investing significantly in cybersecurity because they realize that the potential costs of ignoring cybersecurity far outweigh any savings by not investing. So the cost, I'm confident that an adequate cost benefit analysis will identify certain areas that absolutely need to be uh, put forth in preventing cyber crime. And this presentation, and as well as New York State's policies, are a good set of guidelines for what companies need to look at. Information is power. If criminals have access to sensitive information, they can abuse it. It's important to understand the difference between information that can and should be shared and information that should be kept private. Personal information is particularly risky to have your personal information available online. Sensitive information on social media can be used to intimidate and bully, which is known as cyberbullying. In extreme examples, sensitive information can be used to invade computer networks and extort payment from the corporations whose information technology infrastructure has been hijacked or shut down, called a ransomware attack. And back to Goofus and Gallant. Goofus bullies other students to share their passwords, whereas Gallant explains that robust passwords have 8 or more characters, including special characters and numbers. Goofus swipes his mom's cell phone to visit sketchy websites. Gallant shows friends how to encrypt their devices. Information does not have to be posted online for hackers to access it. This is why we never should share passwords with others. In other types of attempts to take over your system, phishing attacks in which a bit of malicious code is inserted into an email, frequently when the email is purported to be from a trusted entity, such as a bank or another organization. If you click on the link, what you've done is you've run code which can give a bad actor control of your system. Goofus runs to the library after lifting Billy's password. I'm going to surf the web as Billy so I can look at pro wrestling and no one know that it's me. Gallant is responsible with personal information. Sally, if your social security number is on that account, your identity can be stolen. So here are a number of the common sense actions that New York State has proposed. Use strong passwords. As Gallant told us, minimum of 8 characters in length, use special characters, digits, and don't use passwords which are self-explanatory. Change them on a regular basis. Many applications will require you to change your passwords on a regular basis. Do not send them unencrypted over the internet or store them unencrypted on a computer. Think twice before opening emails from unknown sources and from unsolicited sources. Make sure that operating systems and applications are up to date and virus checking software is installed and is up to date. Don't log on to public unsecured networks with devices that contain personal or sensitive information. Always log out from devices in classrooms, libraries, or other publicly available computers. And be mindful of the fact that websites you visit should only be those that start with the HTTPS, with the S standing for secured. Websites without that prefix are not secured websites and can be used for malicious intent. Goofus is too impatient to implement robust passwords, Bah, passwords are boring. I can't remember them anyway. I'm going to make all my passwords password. Gallant helps his mother to implement a password vault, which will make it easier for her to use good cybercrime prevention. While he's at it, he checks to make sure that her virus protection software is up to date. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and that is all, folks.